Hi, I'm Adora, a content designer here at KiwiCo. And today we're building the KiwiCo Spin Launcher crate. Are you ready for liftoff? Part A, build the base. First, connect the switch to the switch mount by aligning the bumps on the mount with the holes in the switch. The switch should face up and its wires this way. Now get this wood base piece and make sure the KiwiCo logo and this text are facing up. With the switch also facing up, thread the wires of the switch through this slot. Next, twist a short blue screw in this hole. And twist a nut on the other side. And repeat with this other hole. Then, flip the wood base over and slot one of these side pieces into these notches. Okay, push a T-nut into this slot. Then, twist a green screw up into the T-nut. Next, click a wire clip into this hole. If you need to remove a clip, just squeeze the ends. Our first stop and check. The clip should stay snapped in place. If it doesn't, go back to the last step and make sure the V side is pressed all the way into the hole. Now slot another side piece into these two notches. Next, repeat steps 6 through 7 on this side. Then, press the V side of another wire clip into this hole. Now, push the V side of a wire clip down into this hole. Alright, click a battery clip under your battery, through the bumps closest to the wires and switch. Pull out the plastic tab. Next, flip the battery pack over. With the wires facing this way, push the battery clip into these slots. Try pushing through one side first, then the other side. Time for another stop and check. Check that the battery pack is attached correctly. The clip goes through the bottom of the bumps, both ends of the battery clip are pushed all the way in, and that you can see the battery switch through this hole. If it's not like this, look closely at steps 13 through 14. Now flip the whole build over and align the pedal holder with these two holes. Then twist a short blue screw and nut in one hole. And do the same for the other hole. Next, click the pedal onto the pedal holder's rods. It may take a bit of force. Then place a spring over this notch. Now start flipping the pedal over. Then push a long blue screw up through this opening in the base. It'll go into the spring, and you can twist the screw into this hole. You can lightly press down on the pedal to get the screw to fit. Awesome! You built the base. Part B, add the motors. Start off by placing either motor in a motor holder piece. Next, move the wires into this gap at the bottom. Be careful not to pinch or tug on the wires, or they could break. Then peel and stick this foam piece over the matching hole and gap. Let's stop and check. Look down at the motor and sticky foam. You shouldn't see any wires blocking the hole in the center. If you do, gently pull up the sticky foam and repeat part B, steps 2 through 3. Now click another motor holder piece on top. There should be a small gap between the pieces. Then turn the assembly. Okay, line up these holes in the motor mount with these holes in the motor holder. You may need to squeeze the motor holder pieces together, and the wires will thread through here. Then twist a green screw into this hole and secure it with a nut and your multi-tool. Now repeat part B, steps 1 through 6 for the other motor. When you're finished with both motors, try tilting the motors at different angles. If they don't stay where you tilt them, use the multi-tool to tighten the green screws. Leave the motors pointing straight out before you continue building. Next, bring back the base you built in part A. Place a motor into this slot on the base. The green screw should face out, and the wire should be on the inside. Then, push a T-nut in this hole and twist a green screw in this hole. Don't connect here yet. Alright, repeat part B, steps 8 through 9 for the motor on the opposite side of the base. Make sure the green screw faces out and the wires are on the inside. Next, slot this wood piece between the motor mounts and the base. Then push a T-nut through here and twist a green screw in this hole. Now repeat this on the other side. Yay! You added the motors. Part C, power up the launcher. Okay, flip your build over. Now connect the red switch wire to the red battery wire. Push hard and be sure to hold the wires by their connectors. Connect one of the black battery wires to a black motor wire. Then connect the other black battery wire to the other black motor wire. And connect one of the blue switch wires to a blue motor wire. Connect the other blue switch wire to the other blue motor wire. Time for a quick stop and check. Turn the battery pack on and press the pedal down. The motor shaft should spin. If not, go back to part C, steps 2 through 6, and make sure everything is connected correctly. Turn the battery pack back off before you keep building. Now click these two sets of wires into this wire clip, carefully, one at a time. Then, gently clip all the wires in place like this. Before you go on, let's get ready to launch. Set your launcher on the floor in an open area. Indoors is better than outdoors, so your spinners don't get lost. Look up and around. Make sure the area around your launch zone is clear. Ask a grown-up before launching, especially indoors or around other people. Also, keep in mind these in-flight safety tips. Keep long hair and fingers away from the spinning motors. Keep away from chandeliers, ceiling fans, and tall plants. Don't launch at people, animals, or breakable objects. And this one's important for your own safety. Don't put your face over the launcher. All right, back to building. Place a spinner on each motor shaft. Next, switch the battery on. Then, press the pedal with your foot for up to 5 seconds and lift your foot to release. Congrats, you built the launcher. Since you're finished building, let's take your launcher for a spin. One way to test out your spin launcher is by seeing just what stunts you can pull off. Can you bounce your spinners off a wall? How about flying them between two objects? See just how many different trick shots you can ace. You can also change things like the angle of your motors or how long you press on the pedal and see how that changes your launch. And while you're having fun, just a gentle reminder, don't put your face over your launcher. Using your crate box, you can test your aiming skills with a game of catch. Or you can turn your crate cover into a hoop and test your skills even further. Now, if you run into any trouble using your spin launcher, don't worry, I've got some tips to help. If the motor mounts don't stay in place when you rotate them, try tightening the screws on each side. The screws should already be facing out. If your spinners fly off immediately when you press the pedal, make sure your wires are connected correctly. Flip the base over and go back to Part C, steps 2 through 6. Now, there is some really cool engineering behind your spin launcher. For instance, what makes the spinners take off? Well, there are two big forces at play: momentum and lift. When you step on the pedal, the shafts on the motors whirl super fast. Naturally, the spinners on top whirl along with them. Release the pedal and the power cuts off, instantly stopping the spinning shafts. But the spinners still have a lot of momentum, so they just keep going and going, spinning up and away. Once the spinners are in the air, their design keeps them there. And remember how I mentioned that momentum and lift are important? Well, when the spinner is in the air, there's lots of air flowing around its blades. The blades are set at an angle, so when the air hits them, it pushes those blades up. That push is called lift. So when it comes to your spin launcher, engineering literally lifts you to new heights. Thanks so much for building with us today. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. You can pull off. Can you bounce your launcher as much as you want?